Live, and it's still thinking. It had some warming up to do. Okay, there we go. Now we're live.
Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jay Nitma.
I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 428.
Yay!
Mhm. Yeah, I think it was you on Saturday that was kind of commenting how quickly January
hmm
was going by, and I was like, I think that's generally a good thing. Like sometimes people talk about the endless days of January, especially with some of the weather that we've been having. So I agree. It's to get to January 18th is already is kind of
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Yeah, although the kids say that after this 3-day week, it's going to feel like a slog until spring break. So,
Yeah. Well, at least I mean, again, I don't know. A lot of people at my work were like, it's too close to the other holidays. Like not that we get to choose how to
right.
spread them out at all, but and I'm glad that we honor Martin Luther King Jr. But they were like, now there's not like a public holiday until like Memorial Day, right? And
hmm
I'm like, yeah, that you have to take your own time. You don't doesn't just have to be a public holiday.
Yeah, the public holidays are just nice because you know nobody else is working, right?
Yes,
There's
yeah,
not going to be an
everybody's set.
endless amount of work after you get back.
Yeah, nothing hanging around waiting for you or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Spring break. I mean, we have spring break, like you said, that we kind of end up not being forced, but we take it with the kids, right? We
Mhm.
opportunize. So yeah, yeah. Um, Speaking of which, we got hopefully we'll be announcing some speakers soon for VKN.
Okay.
Yeah, was able to get, I think, maybe some communication issues with like email. Just a strong shout out, like do 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 do, more like if you are part of a distribution list or a mailing list and
Oh,
you see an unsubscribe at the bottom, like click that rather than spam. This is this week when I sent out the VKN email was the first week that I had heard that like basically anybody that has a Yahoo email address, it went into their spam. So yeah, it just and there's like no way to like mitigate that, right? Like prove to some of these email providers that like I am not a spammer. Like people want this email and have to search through their spam for it. So I think somebody else on the VCAN was saying for a year now they've been going into their spam and marking my emails as not spam. And this week was the first week that it had gone directly into their inbox. So yeah, I don't know. It disheartens me because I know that I've reached out to people and not had them reply, and I assumed that they were just not interested, right? Oh, Amy is muted and frozen. Hello? Now blank. This is going to be great, great podcasting. But anyway, hey, you're back.
okay. Good.
Yeah. Anyway, that was just my technology like plea for marking something as spam that you aren't interested in having in your inbox, but you are able to unsubscribe on hurts the person that's trying to send it and the people that are trying to receive it legitimately. Like, or I don't know if legitimately is the right word, but like we're in earnest, we are trying to send these emails to people that
I
have
will
asked us to do
say
so. So yeah.
I will say though, I have tried to unsubscribe from some people, and I don't know how many times I'm on the list or something
Mm.
because it never takes. I'm like, hey, now that I've unsubscribed, I seem to be getting two a day.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that our unsubscribe works well. If people are having problems with that, they can definitely reach out. But yeah, email is one of those things that you just kind of assume that like there's a trust there that the person on the other side is able to receive it and has received it, right? So I've started reaching out via Instagram unless people are, some designers explicitly say, do not DM me. And then that becomes difficult, like contact forms and,
Mhm.
even doing that. I don't know. Anyway, all that to say, super excited. We're going to be announcing some
Great.
designers here shortly, or speakers here shortly, and be on the lookout for that. And then we've got our craft alongs. Super excited to see the ZKN teams going back and forth on who is ahead, as well as our Explore Zombie Explorer, seeing people add in their projects for head, neck, hands, body, and toes, and self-striping, always self-striping.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah, yeah, I'm out of sorts this morning. I burnt my hair or head with the curling iron,
Oh no!
and then now I have this like I don't know, my curls fell and I can't get them to stay out. But yeah, it's still cold but getting warmer, so that's good. And yeah, I don't know
Favorite
what.
things?
Yeah, sure. So I brought the Cordsmith. I know that I had mentioned that we had gotten them for prizes. So this is the one that I'm using. It's this pretty blue, but it works like any machine or latch hook, if you will. And then I just wrap it around here and pull it through, and then I've gotten a cord.
Hmm.
So that's that was me trying to demonstrate it, but once I get in a rhythm, it goes really fast. And I've seen like Laura Nilkin said yeah. I've seen her demonstrate adding to a shawl,
Hmm.
how you would bind off using the tool.
Hmm.
So if you have a three stitch I-cord bind off in a pattern, it's also something you could attempt uh, to try to get it to go faster. But yeah,
Very cool. Very
that's the
cool. I'm
Portsmouth.
excited to give it a try. We gotta arrange a meetup.
Yeah. So we have these in a couple different colors to give away. That's fun. And a favorite thing. I have been in talks with Tara from Mitchell's Creations about getting a duo here. And I have
Ooh.
this beautiful color. Let's see, it says Shops on the Canal is the name of it.
Wow, I love her color sense. It's so pretty.
Yeah. And this was because I wanted kind of a speckly combo to go with the Cajun Zaza.
Woo! Yowza.
Yeah, yowza. So I was really thinking the highlights or highlighters. I can't remember what it is, but it's a TIFF pattern where there's this really yowza bright stripe that goes through the pattern and then kind of a speckly base that's the neutral. So that's my plan there, or at least initially. Maybe another pattern will come along
Remind
and
me, is that a sweater?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically a box type sweater, uh, and it's got texture in it, but then there's a really bright pink stripe, or maybe it's even a garter ridge or something in the sweater that's a really bright. And I I think highlighters when I see the pattern, but it might just be called highlights. Um,
Yeah.
I would, but it's TIFF, and it's like it's within the last year has been released, so it's fairly new. Uh, and then another yarn or favorite thing that I got in the mail is Suburban Stitcher was having
Mm.
kind of a end of the year, beginning of the year sale. And these were the 2023 festive feeling colorway, that, kind of pink, but Christmassy,
Hmm.
at least in the style of Diane, right? And I got two mohairs there to try to do like, a love note or ranunculus, whatever type of sweater,
Hmm.
um, or maybe even a tee. A lot of mohair options out there, so um, just thought that the color was really pretty,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and could be fun to work with. So, and I find sometimes I'll buy mohair and I won't buy it in enough quantities to do something. But I know for sure that I finished a love note, a very loved and well worn love note with two. So,
Hmm.
um, all else fails, a love note is in my future. But yeah,
Well,
I went ahead.
underlying color, are you thinking of something just kind of basic to let that shine through, or
I was going to swatch,
a yarn
but
experiment? A yarn experiment?
yarn
Yeah.
experiment. Because again, I do want it to shine, so I was gonna try a white, like a bright white,
Mm.
um, like a bleached white, like a super white, not a neutral or a natural, but like white. And
Hmm.
then um, and then I was also gonna try a dark to see if it made it nice and moody, depending
Hmm.
on. But and after those two yarn experiments, I think I can decide which direction I want to go.
Yeah, that's
But
fun.
But yeah, a lot of fun. And then the final thing that I'll talk about is I have my doodle deck.
Okay.
And, I really enjoy just being able to take a card and have that be kind of my pattern for the moment. And then
Mm-hmm.
putting the card back into the deck and pulling my next card and having that be my pattern for the moment. So I will show or share what I've doodled so far.
Oh, I love it.
So I got this flower one at the bottom. It's curling because I'm doing the infinity. And then I have the, um, maybe I can pull the example here, but they have cards that are kind of like inversed for you on the
Hmm.
smaller ones. So then I pulled one of those types of cards and put this in. And then I liked the little bee. So I put the bee in. And then another one of those reversed cards. And then now I'm currently working on the first card I showed you. So we're trucking along on that.
I'm trying to remember,
And
did you show those as that yarn as needle adjacent last week?
I believe I did, yes. Yeah, it's been fun. That's why it's got a lot of love going here. And
Mm.
I'll say other things have not been moving as fast, right? My portable projects, yes, this is kind of the sitting in front of the TV um, knitting. And then in order to make progress, I do pull out my body um, because right now I'm on the long part of the sweater, right? A bottom up sweater where you're working on the body isn't as exciting for me. It does have stripes in it though, so that's kind of like a nice, like, oh, I got through
Yeah.
one stripe and I'm starting the next one. That feels like I've made an accomplishment. So I try not to end before I've gotten to like the 5 stitch repeat. So or 5 row, sorry, 5 row repeat
Yep.
on the sweater. So, but anyway, those are some of my favorite things. I am trying to avoid adding anything else to my stash until I get a few more things out.
Yeah.
I started the year with my little ins and outs at a -5 point something, and I'm at a -7 right now with these purchases.
Yeah.
So I need to rein that in a little bit. Not that I have to really. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not like it's a self-imposed diet and it's not really necessary. But it is driving me to complete a lot of things and give me kind of motivation to deep dive my stash more than I have in the last few years. Like, like, oh, what's a 5 or 6 game thing that I can make that'll pull a lot of these out of my stash that are all deep stash to the point where I'm like, oh, if I can get something that pulls all of these colors together, um, that's a win, right? That'll be my justifiable purchase, right? So I can start that project and pull them all together. And yeah, it's been kind of a fun challenge. And a friend of ours just got a circular sock knitting machine, and maybe I'd mentioned that before, but I'm pulling some skeins because I think like, oh, I'm gonna try to coordinate some cranking with her and a few uh get a few other single ladies out of my stash that I've really wanted to make socks out of. But I also feel like it just needs to be a plain sock. But a plain sock without stripes just seems to take forever for me.
Mm.
Like, so like maybe those are the perfect skeins for, tube cranking and then just putting on a little heel and toe and a do-si-do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm in a similar vein as you, but different, right? Always different. I am cranking out socks, but not cranking them on a machine. So I've been really going all in on socks at the beginning of this year. And I much like you, not keeping track of ins and outs, but have definitely like I cleaned my yarning room as my dining room slash craft room that my son has deemed the yarning room. And in doing so was kind of like, okay, again, like I continue to add more containers, continue to kind of shuttle between like some upstairs attic, like that's more, it's not the ZK yarns. They're a little harder to get to. And even those are getting a little crowded. So actively investigating ways to, single ladies where muscle burras were one of those things that helped me. Now this year it's been a lot of socks. So I pulled, so you saw my dark wood socks. I had a little bit left over. I pulled from, and I'm absolutely loving this. I might try to set up a system. Uh, Sorry, I'm trying to find the tag here as I'm talking. I pulled some Quantum Leap to knit some, parting it up and getting down with some garter. And past Megan bought the year in review from Leading Men Fiber Arts, which is really cool because they do a colorway a month for 10 of the months. And then I wrote on the tag April 27th, 2017. And for whatever reason, like in addition to just really loving that, like these were two things that were kind of automatically mailed to me, and I found a great combo across dyers of the colorways. Like there's a little bit of purple or a lot of bit of purple in this in the Quantum Leap, and it kind of pulls out the purple in the dark woods from Suburban Stitcher. I'm also really enjoying that. Like I know that this is a skein that is 7 years old, 6 years old probably because I got it in 2018 as part of the year in review. And so kind of thinking through maybe, as things come in this year, I'll start tagging them as
Oh,
2023. And then that gives me a little bit of nostalgia when I actually
2024.
do. Sorry, 2024. Yes, you are right. I still need to increment that in my
Yep.
brain, even though we've gotten to the 18th of January. But yes, tag them as 2024 and provide myself that like nice moment in the future, nostalgia, remembering when I got it. I know a lot of people record their purchases in Ravelry. I did that early on, and I really appreciate the kind of like insurance backup aspect of that. But it got away from me. If I had always kept up with it, like I think it would be a great resource, right? But Now it's gotten away from me, so I'm not going to, yeah, spend all kinds of crafting time, probably a month's worth of crafting time going through cataloging, taking pictures, and even then I wouldn't have like dates, right?
Hmm.
So maybe like a hack this year is I'll start adding 2024 to my 2024 purchases. And then future Megan can be like, oh, it wasn't 10 years ago that I bought this, or it wasn't just 2 years ago that I bought this. It's been marinating for quite some time. Uh,
That's a really great idea. I like that. And Megan, that in 2018 was thinking of you.
She was. It was like, oh, this would be great to understand when this was. So I've done some stash stirring. I pulled out Pure Imagination, which I feel like I've been
Ooh,
hoarding from Leading Men Fiber Arts. This is a December of 2015 colorway that was part of their year in review. And I think I'm going to combine it. This is month 14 of Suburban Stitchers Fade Club, the Bella. So I think this will be really pretty together in something.
great
They're
name.
just yeah, they're sitting and like getting to know each other on the yarning room table. I need to skein them up and decide what I'm going to. I think it's that little kind of brown combo, but there'll be enough
Hmm.
contrast with majority of it. And then yeah, these are the first skeins that will be labeled 2024 that I got. So I got some Yarnaceous. This
Ooh.
is their Salta fingering base, which I'm making a Fall Frolic out of last year's ZK colorway with
Mm.
from Yarnaceous, and it is just so soft. And you wouldn't think the difference of 5% going to merino out of nylon would make that much of a difference. But I think it's not only that composition, maybe a really high quality merino, like, lower micron merino, maybe, but also it's like closer to the 400 yards per skein, so like 436. So it's a nice plump and really soft base. I'm gonna butcher this. It's like pre-night, Prehnite. Yeah, it's probably coming across a little more papau than it actually is in real life. It's really kind of a, but she in December was having like a buy four skeins at a super reasonable, like a sweater pack basically, at a super reasonable rate. And so as I'm working on the Fall Frolic with this fabulous base, four more skeins of a very Megan green showed up. And so it was purchased in 2023. I can't remember your rule, but it came in 2024. So this is the first addition to my stash. But yeah, I'm really loving working with this base, as well as trying to use some of my older skeins in interesting ways, figuring out where I can add garter moonbeams or sun rays.
Yeah.
But definitely a favorite thing.
Yeah. I've been
Have
contemplating that this might need to just have some garter at the cuff.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yesterday somebody had a aha in, or last night had a Beth had an aha that like she's got a garter ridge, like the heel that she's doing has a garter ridge on the edge, top down, where you pick up. It enables you to pick up the stitches easier on the heel.
Oh, okay.
And I think you've probably seen that. It's probably like 3 or 4 stitches wide of
Hmm.
garter up the side, and you pick it up, and it just is a nice little detail on the heel flap there. But
Okay.
yeah, yeah, lots of interesting ways to get garter into your knitting.
Like I'm running out of like room to do it. So I think my next stripe needs to
Make a
have all the
decision.
garter.
Yeah, make a decision. Yeah, it's been fun. Again, I this was a very easy addition to the partying it
Yes,
up.
I love
Was
that.
yeah. So and then
Fun.
yeah, yeah, a lot of
I
fun,
have
a lot of fun. I may
to
try
say,
to unskew, turn a OMG heel, re-skew the opposite direction, and kind of end up with like a almost a square or diamond in the middle of the
okay.
foot. I was talking about it last night and somebody was like, is that really a skew then? And I'm like, no, it's not, but it's kind of like a Franken sock, right? Like I'm pulling together. I like the toe on the skew and I like the, yeah. So
Cool.
having lots of fun combining colors and using bases that I enjoy and nostalgia on where I was when 2015, man. I've been holding on to this one since 2015.
Yeah, and it's very
Oh,
appropriate. It's Wonka, you can
yeah,
we got to see
absolutely.
that this weekend. It was really good.
It is. It's super cute. I was thinking maybe our almost teenager would be like, "Mom, this is a baby movie," right? But we all enjoyed it. We all enjoyed it.
Yeah,
So,
I yeah, it was really fun. They're just so over the top, like the bad guys are just so bad. And I was
mhm.
trying to explain the chief of police like having a sweet tooth and getting paid bribes in chocolate. It's like that part is so ridiculous and over the top that
Yeah,
it's definitely like a kid's book or movie when you think about that. So,
absolutely. Yeah, kind of that hyperbole of the bad guys being so very bad.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
But
but
all
yes,
right.
musical, right? Break into song. Gotta
Yeah,
love that. Gotta love
absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Bye.
I'll try to be singing. Yep. Bye, Yuvta. Just a really quick, I know you've got to run. Shout out. We